Well, hello there. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to CyberCast IRL. Man, I'm surprised I'm even on. I got to check my levels. I feel like the microphone. Windows, why do you hate me? What is it about me that you hate so much? We're going to try that. I think that is probably a little bit better with the input. But tell you, this is what happens. When I go long on Jerry's Jaw-Jacking show, I get into a scramble because I've got a laundry list of things I have to get through, like check the microphone levels before I dive into the show. But we're here now, and I'm glad you've joined us. Hopefully, we're going to have a good time today. We talk cyber stuff here on CyberCast IRL. That's what it's all about. Building community, being there for each other. And speaking of which, I want to start this show off with a wonderful news. We've got Furious George. He's in the chat right now. He has let us all know for the last few couple of days that he did pass his Network Plus. Not only did he pass it, but he crushed it. Like super crushed it. So congratulations, good sir. We are proud of you. And if you are new to CyberCast IRL, this is the community we are building of people that we support each other. He's been in the Discord channel quite often, dropping things like I'm taking practice exams. He's doing that. And we're all supporting and helping him. Hey, I got this wrong. What do you guys think about that? That's what the Discord is all about. Having fun, supporting each other, learning about things, and kind of being a community or even like a tribe, right? Where we get together and kind of pass along cool information and help each other with stuff. It's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend you do that. I don't think the Discord link in this episode notes as of the filming right now. Well, we're live, but it's being filmed. So if you watch this later, I'm going to put the correct Discord link in this episode right now. But before I do that, I guess I'll drop it right here. That way, if anybody's looking to join a Discord, we do have a lovely community. Let me grab that. Oh, where are you? There you are, link. Bam. And wait for it. Wait for it. Booyah. There is the Discord link that is currently as of the filming of this episode and live right now. So if you need to grab and join a Discord, we got a good one for you. It's a lot of fun. And you can get it on the ground floor because I think we're just a bit over 200 people right now. So it's really nice. It feels really like a small town community of cyber people that love that stuff. So I encourage you to come hang out with us. That said, let's see here. I've got a whole list of things. I am out of my mind today. So welcome, CyberCast IRL. This is where we talk about cybersecurity stuff. So again, for the newbies out there, and if you are a first timer, please let us know so we can give you a nice warm welcome to the show. But we talk about cyber stuff, whether that be training, certifications, jobs, skills, just something interesting that's happening in cyber, whatever the case. And it's all on the table. If you like something or dislike something, this is open dialogue. Everyone has an equal chance to like vet their opinion and have the rest of us kind of go, that's an interesting take. I haven't thought about that. Have you thought about this? And then open dialogue. That's what I like. All right, good stuff there. So that's what we're all about. If you're unfamiliar, I'm gonna do this. I gotta pay some bills, my own bills. And the cool thing is, because it's my own stuff, I don't think YouTube counts this as a paid promotion, so I don't have to put the little thing in there. Not that that's a big deal, but let's go here. And I have a complete Pentest Plus course. For those of you out there looking to gain some pen testing skills, you might want to check out my complete Pentest Plus course. $89 one-time purchase, and you can see what's in the course content right there. We've got pre-engagement of 14 lessons. By the way, this is over 24 hours of, I don't know what I've done here, but I've really made it mad at this point. I'll accept. I don't care. Over 24 hours of content. We got 84 lessons for you. So if you want to learn things like exploitation, we've got 34 lessons right there covering things like weak network credentials, OAuth and OIDC attacks, SAML attacks, web app brute force, directory traversal, file inclusion, server-side request forgeries, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, deserialization, SQL injections, command injections, and the list goes on, as you can see. So lots of good content there for you. If you've been looking to gain some pen testing or just hacking skills in general, whether you want to sit the cert or you just want to get familiar with what pen testers do and some of the skills that they have, I would highly recommend this course right here. That said, don't forget Simply CyberCon is coming up soon. Again, not a paid promotion, just I'm going and it's going to be fun. And I like Jerry. So It's going to be rock solid. I know a lot of people that are going to be there. So if you miss out on this, man, I feel for you because there's going to be some great folks at this con. It's going to be a good time. It's in Charleston, South Carolina, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets are still available. So see if you can fit it in. If you can, we would love to see you there, have some great conversation, listen to some great talks, have that community feel, because the Simply Cyber community is a great community also. So check them out. Whew, there we go. Man, I am running through the laundry list, and now here's chat. Let's talk to chat for a second. Let's see who's in there. Now, if you want to catch my attention, you can do like what we see Port Zero Cyber Solutions is doing. Good morning, Daniel Lowry. Well, good morning to you. Good to have you. And you just at my name, it really pops out for me so I can see that in the chats. Well, let's see. We've got Alicia Grimm. We've got Rhonda Rummerfield. We've got Wayne's Real World 5801. That's because that's my boy right there. If I miss something that you're trying to get my attention on, Wayne is kind of batting cleanup for me. He's our official, unofficial moderator. So he'll try to spam me a little bit to let me know, hey, you're missing so-and-so's question. They're asking this. A lot of great people in here today. We got the Real Bilbo, Steve Young, Phil Stafford, Wes Bryan, my man, OSCP, good to see you too. Samantha Nakamoto, nice. Thank you for joining us. Legratz. Who else? Stream Logic. Oh yeah, there's my wife right there. Mrs. Lowry 12. She's the 12th Mrs. Lowry. I don't want to get into our religious beliefs on. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Furious George. Of course, we've already mentioned you, and you. Congratulations. I see Carrie Chasen in the house as well. Oh man, lots of great people already joining us. Some ride or dies. So thank you everyone for hanging out this morning. I know it's a lovely Friday, but we're going to do what we do. Now, it is time for us to have a little bit of fun that we do right before we get into the full-on cyber talk, which is a little thing we like to call the morning pour. And that is where I grab my camo cup, which I was looking at it the other day. Actually, yesterday, I think it was. Can't really see it in my studio, and that's probably why I never noticed it. I had it out in my kitchen and where the light is good, and I noticed, man, I have chipped and dinged this thing. It looks like it's been through a war zone in a lot of ways, and I like that. It gives it character, right? A lot of like even little rusty spots or something where it's all kind of the outside's coming off. So I love this cup. This is the Lord's Camo Cup, as we call it, because Woodland Camo is the best. And it's time for the morning pour, where I take a Monster Zero Sugar, which is my favorite energy drink, which I only have one time a week. Once. This is it. You get to watch me enjoy. I look forward to this every single week because I love these things. But I had to cut back because I know excess is not great for you. But we do a little ASMR where I pour this lovely drink over some ice. And today's drink is going to be Monster Ultra Vice Guava, as I like to call it. I don't know why I have to say it like that. I can't say it any other way. It's Ultra Vice Guava. But I love the two-tone colors on this can. It's really colorful, really cool. Got some great art on there as well. But without further ado, let's get to the crack. Yes. That's like commercial crack right there, right? Like if we were doing a Monster commercial, they would have been like, and that's the cut right there. That's the take. All right, let's move on to the pour part. And now we do that. I'm going to tilt this microphone just ever so slightly so that the cup can easily hear. Let us begin, shall we? I think I might have gone a little too much. We'll see. Yeah, can't make the whole pour. Oh, there's just a little bit left. But we're at the tippity top. I mean, the ice even jumped up. I don't have to tap it today. I'm going to get a tug. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Oh, yeah, Bob. Here it comes. I'm straight from Wisconsin or Chicago or somewhere in the Midwest right there, because that's a delicious, tasty beverage, if I do say so myself. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Tackling fuel. Put the top on that bad boy, because actually, I need to add the rest of now that I've got room. Baby poor. Baby poor. What about Bob? Hey there, Bob. What about Bob? Hey, Bob. Hey there, Bob. We are having fun. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. I didn't just mute that, did I? I was touching the button there. Okay. That was good. That was delish. We are 10 minutes in, and it's time to talk some cyber stuff. So, again, if you have questions, if you want to bring something to my attention, you've got some cool content or comments or whatever the case is, you want to start a conversation, you know what to do. Jump into the old chats. It's right there. Don't just lurk. You're allowed to ask questions. I don't bite unless I'm like, tussling with you. I might throw some chompers at you at that point. But I mean, I think we've gone well beyond the introductions at that point. If we have already started throwing ones and twos at each other. But there we go. We're having fun, or you're having fun. I'm definitely having fun, Kathy. I love that. But yeah, throw your comments or your questions in the chat. And that's kind of fuel for the show, honestly. I do have some stuff that we can talk about. I feel like I can't get my mic placement right today. That's a weird sentence to say. I'm losing my mind. I'm getting crazy. Okay. Deep breath. To the chat. Let's take a look. See what I've missed. That's right. Tech Grunt says, with the Wisconsin accent after the morning pour. Great way to start the day. It surely is. It truly is. Let's see here. Tech Grunt says he's got Ultra Sunshine. Nice. Do love a good Ultra Sunshine. I think that was the best crack, says Furious George. It was a good one. It was a good one. Good one, indeed. 10 out of 10. This isn't crack. I hope not. Oh, man, we're having a good time. Let's see here. Time for the camo cup retirement? No, sir. No. We're long. Don't you talk no hurt to the Lord's camo cup, sir. She has many more miles left in her. Many more monsters will see the inside of that cup well before it gets retired. You know what I need to do? I need to get me like an affiliate link or something to that cup, and that way you guys can go out and buy one, and then when we meet up at cons, everybody can bring their camo cup. That'd be fun. All right, there's actually a question. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much, Unknown101. A fun username there. What are your recommendations for bug bounty and web pen testing? Web pesting? Yeah, that's a new thing. You see what I do? I just make up words because they're fun. Technically, all words are made up, but you know what I mean. What are my recommendations? So the good news is, let's do this. Let's get the old thing up here. Let's start off with platforms. There's multiple platforms in which you can utilize, but we have HackerOne. Right? So first things first, go to HackerOne. And if you're straight up new, you're like a straight newbie, I guess that's a good place to start. Let's just pretend, even if you're not, let's pretend that the people that are listening going, yeah, what about bug bounties? What about web app pen testing? It's a great question and is something that no matter if you do get into offensive security, you'll probably do some sort of web app testing, API, that kind of stuff. So this is just good knowledge for everyone. So let's get you started, right? HackerOne, sign up for that. Become a researcher. That's what you want to do. And here they have this thing right here. It says, I don't know if you can see it, but it says learn to hack. So once you get logged into that, you can get rewards for hacking. So you kind of like, as you learn hacking techniques for web applications and bug bounty hunting, you will get invited. You earn enough points. That's fun. I literally cannot get that off the screen. Okay, weird. I didn't say they were great at making websites. I said they were great at hacking them. But you can definitely go learn some stuff here. It's really cool stuff. This is good, but it might be a step beyond. Where you want to really start, though, is these are going to be where I would tell you to start. You're going to start with Portswigger Web Security Academy. All right, so let me drop that in the chat. Copy, go to chat, and paste. Bing. So that's where I would absolutely start there. Once you do all the labs there, run over to pentesterlab.com, get you a login for this. Worth the money. It is a little bit of money, but in my estimation, it's worth the money. I love this platform. I learned so much when I started off on this platform, and they're constantly updating. To me, it's like everybody goes to Hack the Box and Try Hack Me. Also, excellent resources, but if you really want to dig into web app stuff, this, in my opinion, is the best, right? This is where it's going to go, right? Learn by exploiting real world CVEs and analyzing vulnerabilities at the code level, develop deep technical skills, which you absolutely will. You'll learn a lot about how web works, the technologies that make websites work, as well as how to build your own tools and utilize things like Python, Ruby, and so PHP and JavaScript and so on and so forth to interact and break websites so that you can't find those flaws and exploit them, write up a bug bounty report, and get paid, right? So that's that. Then you jump back over and you get into HackerOne's Hacker Academy, or I think Bug Crowd as well. Bug Crowd. Let's see here. Did I give you guys Pentester Lab? Boom. Let me give you that. Copy. Pasta that. Paste. Here it comes. Coming in hot. And then Bug Crowd is going to be another great resource for you. And I think they may even have some... Do they have anything? Let's go to maybe their blog, all resources. Boy, I don't know what's going on in this site, but like this browser, I'm in the DuckDuckGo browser. Been test driving it for a little bit, but yeah. Anywho, resources. Maybe go here. And let's see what we got in here. Do they have any like learning solutions? Maybe just reading their blog is a good place to go. Blog reading is always a great place to go. Read a lot of blogs of people that do bug bounties. Read HackerOne also has Hacktivity. So once you get logged in as a researcher, you can look at the Hacktivity and see disclosed bug bounties. Like that they have worked their way through it. They found the bug. They submitted it. It was accepted. They got paid, and then they got permission to say, "Hey, can I disclose what I found?" And you can see that in their Hacktivity. So that's probably under research, learn to hack, Ambassador One, opportunities, leaderboard, researcher community. So a lot of great resources on both of these sites. You just got to get in there and check them out. So hopefully that helps you get going with some bug bounty stuff. That's going to be great. Don't forget Juice Shop. You're probably going to play with Juice Shop a little bit as well. Spin something up in your own environment. Cool stuff. Okay. Great question, though. Good first start to the show. Love that question. Hopefully that helps you out. Get going. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's see what I have missed, because I'm sure this is going to jump. Tech Girl has entered the chat. Let's go. That's what's up. Right, Tech Ricky, the techiest of all the Rickies, had a camo koozie for his monsters at Wild West Hackin' Fest. That's what's up, right? It's like, if you know, you know, right? I love that. Let's see here. Saffron Paprika, I'll be starting your course soon. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. A, for purchasing, because it puts food on my table and keeps my mortgage paid. And so I really appreciate all that. TechGrunt says, new shirt idea. Here's for the crack, but here for the crack, but staying for the poor. I like that. That's actually a really good idea. Steve Young says, live in Minnesota and you sound like my next door neighbor. That's funny. TechGrunt can attest that Professor Z, we were down in B-Sides Tampa. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Tampa, but B-Sides St. Pete. And she's from Wisconsin. She said, I sound nothing like a Midwesterner, or at least a Wisconsinner, I guess. What do you call someone from Wisconsin? Wisconsinite? I don't know. Anyway, she said I had no skills on that one, but that's fine. She's from there. She's allowed to make that call. But if you're there too, now I've got conflicting. This is like math where a negative cancels a positive kind of thing, or something's going on here. Hold on. I said math. I think, is my nose bleeding? I think I'm bleeding. Yeah. That math get me every time. Saffron Paprika, you know I love your stinking name. That is such a funny, great online name. Oh, let's see here. The Tuber XYZ says, Morning, Dan. Hope all's well with you. I appreciate that. 20 Mule Team. Okay, we got ourselves an actual question here. And not that I don't enjoy all the well wishing and everything like that, but I do love a good question. Any insights on the CRTO course exam? I'm about a year in with my pen testing red teaming knowledge, if that helps any. So that's good to know so far. So, how far am I into the thing? I think I'm probably about 15 to 20% in. I've gotten, I'm just past initial access stuff. And what I've determined just from checking, so again, people, we love to get a good review because we want to know what we're going to expect if we put that money down and get that course. So far, I would absolutely recommend this for anyone that's looking to get into red teaming. I think they also have a newer course because I bought CRTO last year, and from the time that I bought it to the time that I've actually restarted it now, it has changed. It is much more in depth. It is much more difficult than it was. I should have totally taken it back then because now it's got a lot more information and the bar has been raised, which is a pros and cons, right? So the good thing is I am learning new things. I'm like, okay, this is stretching your boy out in his capabilities and experience because this is where I struggle. It says that you don't need any programming knowledge with C or C# or C++ and all that stuff, but it really would be a good idea. It's really, so far, at least that's my take on it. Especially with Visual Studio. I'm a Linux guy. I don't spend time in Visual Studio, but if you that's where you go to do some C# programming, and if not all of the examples I've seen so far are C#, right? And .NET stuff. So I've had to get a little more handy with Visual Studio, which is a good thing. It's just, it takes a minute. You're not born with this knowledge. You got to gain it. You got to struggle your way through it, which I like on one hand because I know I'm actually learning things, which is good. So to me, it does make this so far very much worth the while. But I wish they would have had that prereq course before this one, you know what I mean? Or at least give me access to that because I purchased it. Whatever. It is what it is. I'll catch up, but they do have a pre-course for anybody that's thinking about going into this. Pros. So the pros are deep level knowledge. If you're just been doing pen testing stuff or web app or things of that nature, this is definitely going to push you into a new category of red teaming properly. Working with Cobalt Strike, C2s, BOFs, the beacon object files, the malleable stuff that you can do with obfuscation and modification of Cobalt Strike so that it can have good OPSEC and not get busted by things like Defender and EDR and so on and so forth. So that is where I am learning, and I'm really happy to learn that stuff. Cusping on to the verge of Maldev. Not quite there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, but you can see Maldev off in the distance. You're like, what is that over there? And you're like, Maldev, babe. That's what's up. So that's what I do like, that I'm moving the needle further and further in that direction because that's eventually where I want to be. So that's really cool. I like that. So it's a very exciting course. I like that. The labs are great. They're hosted labs, so you can just dive in. It is a bit of copy pasta. I always would love to see more of an open range. So I've started kind of building my own labs where, okay, I've got a Windows server. I've got a Windows client. I'm installing. This is going to be my Windows attack box where I have Visual Studio installed. And I'm trying to follow the bouncing ball. And I'm going out and finding resources that are similar. So if I can't have Cobalt Strike because I don't have, the money to purchase that, that's cool. I'll go get another C2. Maybe I'll run Covenant. Maybe I'll run Adaptix because everybody knows I love Adaptix. Maybe I'll run Sliver because I know that they have a very good malleable C2 if I'm not mistaken. Sliver is pretty good. I really like Adaptix though. There's a Gunner C2, right? There's tons of C2s that are out there that I could replace Cobalt Strike with. So I'm getting hands-on experience with Cobalt Strike, but I'm also kind of making a parody lab so I can just work in it anytime I like. And there you go. So I wish they had an open range that you could just play so I wouldn't have to build that, but I'm getting good experience with building that on my own as well. Man, this is a long answer to a very short question. How's it going? How's that CRTO treating you? The course so far and to this day has been great. The content is really, really good. I have trouble staying engaged. That has been my big complaint. Anybody that's watched the last few episodes of IRL, well, you can go back and see. This is still my one big complaint, is there are a few video assets, but they're very short, and they're, Daniel Duggan is a great dude. I think he is a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and experience. But man, I would love that if the whole course was video, that it was a video, was an engaging, personality that keeps me locked in going, oh yeah, because I find myself rereading content 3, 4, 5 times because my mind just tunes out and goes off into a different direction. I'm like, oh, I need to know this. This is very technical information. And that way I could be doing the lab while watching the video. And to me, that's just my preferred mode, right? And anybody knows me that's how I am. So I wish that was there. Anybody knows anybody at 0 Point Security, if they ever need someone that's really good at video training, just off the top of my head, who could that be? Anywho, would love to make videos for that course because I think it's such a great course and that would be so much better. Like, there's probably no reason for them to do that at this point. They have a very captive audience. Like they are the best in that space, I think, or at least one of the best in that space. So there's no reason for them to do that other than they just want to make the best product possible. Great product. Don't hear me say it's not good. Do not hear that. It's great. So far, I'm loving it. Every last second of it. I just wish, because of how I learn, that there was much more visual engagements to keep me engaged. I would stroke through this thing a whole lot faster and probably learn a whole lot more, a whole lot quicker. That's just me. So that's my take on it so far. Little CRTO update. Thanks for asking, 20 Mule team. Great question. Let's jump back into chats. Oh, I probably missed a thing or two. What am I doing here? There's my mouse. Oh yeah. So there was the morning pour. Okay, good. Let me jump back down, see where we're at. Tyson Benson says, agree about the video wish. Yeah, it's so much more engaging content, right? Look at TechGrun11. Marking out from my girl, Kathy Chambers. I happen to know somebody who can help with producing content. Kathy Chambers. That's right. Are you available for a consult? Man, she should make that connection. Reach out to 0 Point, Kathy, see if you can get them on the horn. And that would be cool. And you can say, hey, I know a guy that can make some great video content training for your stuff there. Noah Six says PNPT is around a realistic test with a realistic report. They sure are. Great stuff. But it's penetration testing. It's not red teaming. Just a little bit different there. OSCP is the HR gold standard. At this point, it still is. We talked to Philip Wiley the other night on After Dark, CyberCast After Dark, and I asked him that very question, and his answer was that it is the OSCP. The OSCP is still the gold standard. There's a lot of kickback. PNPT is getting a lot of coverage. People are starting to know it a whole lot more. They've done a lot of great work over at TCM to make a great certification course with great training, as well as a cert that they've been pushing hard to get out there so that it does get into HR as much as humanly possible. I think that they are definitely going to overtake OSCP as the gold standard. That's a hot take. I don't know if it's going to happen. Eric Taylor says, that's called ADHD. Yes, I know. Okay. I know. I have a problem. Okay. And it's called ADHD, and it's a real pain in the... Sometimes it's a blessing and a curse because when you do focus, you get hyper focused on stuff and you learn hard. So I like that part of it, but that whole thing where it's like squirrel and just watch me do things. I will be in the middle of a conversation and just be like, completely shift gears. I'll drop into third real quick and be like, what's that over there? And just move on to something else. Oh, let's see here. Any other good stuff? I do see that didn't quite catch my name there, but TechCurrent says, I hear you on that one. Having a hard time staying engaged with the material. Yeah, that's why I teach the way I teach, because I know the pain around that. And I just try to do my best to be engaging and have fun, because that's how I stay engaged with what I'm teaching you, because I will legit drop into third gear and take a hard left. Yeah, is what it is. So I have to be engaging for myself as much as I am for you. Let's see here. Legrat says the monster is so powerful that Daniel Lowry is bleeding. Oh yeah. the math thing. Oh, here we go. Alicia Grimm. What would be a good starter lab? You mentioned how making labs can teach you more than just going on Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. The learning with spinning up a lab is there a lab that is best to start with? See, this is what I love, Alicia, coming in here. When she drops questions, you better be ready, because it's right at the mid-roll, so it's perfect timing for this. And it actually dovetails into what I wanted to specifically bring up as a topic of conversation today, which is labs. I mentioned in jaw jacking this morning. Let me set this stage for everyone. I mentioned in jaw jacking this morning that, Jerry asked us all, what are we doing in 2026? What are goals? And I said, well, one of the things I'm doing, and I've started already, I actually started this week, is recognizing weak spots in my skill set and doing what I can to raise the bar, right? Got to constantly be learning, got to be constantly upskilling. So I'm doing CRTO, and I'm also trying to get, because I have very little connection with mobile pen testing, mobile security, other than cursory knowledge of that stuff, but no real good hands-on. So I'm like, okay, it's time to spin up those labs. It's time to get some hands-on with that stuff. So this question is great with that. So I'm going to start from what basic labs should you have to what labs I am currently running. All right, so definitely start off with, you need an attack box, whether that be Kali, whether that be Parrot. I think that you should have one or both. Just pick your poison. Test drive them both. They're both great. And there's others out there as well. But those are the two main players in that space. There's Backbox also, if I'm not mistaken. There's a few of them. Pat Gorman just put out a video on the one that he uses, where he just creates an Ubuntu box and then runs some scripts that create, I forget the name of it. Man, I've got to play around with that. I'm gonna make my own video on that. I'm gonna go watch Pat Gorman's video. What was that? All right, to the browser. We love Pat, so we'll give him some. So youtube.com/@infosecpat. I'm gonna go with that. I hope that's his. Yep, there we go. Okay, that's loud. Videos. Nmap skills, hacking system, learn pen testing, certification homes. Where is this thing? I thought he just did this. I could have swore this was. Well, here's another one right there. Game of Active Directory. That's a great, but you're not building that. That's kind of like, what is? I could have swore he just released this video. Was it a live thing? Oh yeah, there it is. Exegol. That's it. Exegol. EXEGOL. So he's got a whole video on that. I'll probably spin one up as well, because I want to mess around with that. So you got to have that attack box. So once you got that squared away, then you're going to need things like a Windows server. So you go look for Windows server, and I would go with something like 2019 or maybe even 2016, but 2019, 2022, that's fine as well. So like 2019 ISO, and it's called a, oh my goodness, my brain is just shutting down. It is evaluation download. There you go. And that will take you to here. And you can grab from the evaluation center, you can grab a copy of that. You can also get a copy of Windows 10, get a copy of Windows 11. I guess go with Windows 11 at this point. And then you can make an Active Directory environment. So spin that up. So there you go with that. That's going to be your little AD environment where you have one or maybe two clients. If you've got the horsepower to make that happen, maybe you got some old hardware sitting around and you can just legit install Windows on it and make that your client. Whatever you got to do to get these things going. I heard that because of the whole Windows 10 thing, there's a lot of really cheap hardware out there now that's getting flooded into the market. So you can grab some good hardware at a low, low price and get a really good hacking lab going on inside your own home. So that'll be fun. So there's that. And then you're going to need some actual attack stuff. So anybody that knows me, I've got a whole video on this. Websploit is going to be a good one. This is a great, easy way to get some targets in your environment that you can go get into that web app hacking stuff right there. Very not too difficult VM requirements. If you want to do this in VM, I typically just run this in a Kali box. And that way I'm hacking internally on the Kali box. If I give my Kali like 8 gigs of RAM and 4 CPUs or something, this runs like a champ. And it's super simple, little one-liner to get it installed. And this is what you get. You get WebGoat, you get Juice Shop, you get DVWA, you get Matilda 2, you get DVNA, you get Hackazon, you get these intermediate to advanced level web apps like HackMe RTOV, Mayhem, Safe Mode, Galactic Archives, Secret Corp Branch 1, Gravemind, DC30, Y-Wing. So really cool stuff here. And this is such an easy button for a great home hacking lab. That's going to give you some targets to go after, right? So you have an Active Directory domain to play around with, and you'll have to like, oh, the NTLM relay attack isn't working. Why is that? Well, you probably got SMBv3 turned on with signing. So you got to go and make those adjustments. And you learn how you make those adjustments. If you're doing things like ASREP and Kerber roasting and, silver and golden ticket attacks, right? You've got to go in there and make a janky service for silver ticket attacks so that you can, has a bad password in it. So you have something to crack, and you start to learn how those things get done. You're like, why would anybody do this? And you go, why would anybody turn off SMB signing? Well, you see, we have backwards compatibility with older stuff that's in environments that are very critical to their systems. And so this might actually be a thing. It's like, oh, cool. Well, now I can spin up Responder and do all this stuff. By the way, all this stuff I'm talking about, you can learn in my Pentest Plus course. You see how I segued there? Isn't that fun? But there you go. That's a good start to a hacking lab. And then, of course, let's segue into what I'm doing, which is here is my actual VM environment. And you can see right here, I've got, well, don't worry about that one. But this one says, oh, hold on here. Let's do this. I think I can do this. Nope. Or is it this? Yeah, there we go. Now you can see better. And you've got like a Win10 client, a second Win10 client, a Windows server. So there's my AD environment, right? I've got an Ubuntu server on there for doing Ubuntu things. Don't forget Metasploitable as well, the BWAP. I love the BWAP. I'm always a big fan of the BWAP. It's got a lot of great hacks, even though they're a bit older. It's not a big deal. Grab some vulnerable machines, add that to your list of stuff to do. Let's see here. I've got Metasploitable 2. I've got BWAP right there. Got a couple of versions of Kali. Some I need to delete, actually, because they're just older. I haven't been working with them. I've got OpenVAS to do vulnerability scanning, right? You could do, I could take that Ubuntu server up there, slap Nessus if I want to get some hands-on with Nessus. I've got another Windows 11 for doing, that's my attack bot that I was telling you I was spinning up in my own environment for doing Visual Basic, not Visual Basic, but Visual Studio, to doing C# stuff, .NET things. That's that box I have for that. This is my actual Kali Linux box. I've got DC1 and DC9, a couple of VulnHub boxes that are in my environment. Actually, I have a video dropping after this episode of IRL that will be live at 11 a.m., which is me doing a walkthrough of DC1 and kind of treating it as a really quick, I'm not doing any kind of I'm not creating the report stuff, but I am showing you how I use my methodology to work through DC1 and get root there and gain access and see that and get initial access, do recon, things of that nature. So really cool stuff. And you'll see that this one right here, Android, I am working on learning about mobile. So this is so cool. I did not know this existed. Now, hold on here. Let me zoom out. This is Android. I don't know if I can, hello, live. It looks like it's asleep here. Hello, can I do this? Swipe something? I guess I can restart it. I guess don't let it go to sleep. Restart. But this is an x86 port of Android. So instead of being on ARM architecture, it's x86 based. So you can just spin it up in a virtual machine. Like this is a VMware Workstation. You can do it on VirtualBox. And now I have a Android tablet. As you can see, I normally have a different resolution, so this is kind of overblown. But that's what's up, right? Look at that. Isn't that great? I can drop APKs on here. I can do testing. And it's rooted by default. So I come in here and I type in SU. You can see ID. I don't know if you can see that. I'll get. Oh, I gotta do this action right there. Right? See, I'm rooted. Booyah. So really cool stuff right there. And now I've got an Android device. Now you can do other stuff like Genymotion. So I do have Genymotion installed, I believe here. Yeah. And you can get free stuff. So if I wanted to spin up a Google Nexus, it just murders my, I've got to do some performance enhancements to make it work. So if you don't like Genymotion, which I found Genymotion to be a little bit too limited, and that's why I started looking for other alternatives, which I love this one. I really enjoy this. So can I exit out of here? Yeah. Booyah. But you can also just do the SDK, the Android SDK. So if I run over here and I do CD into tools, I believe. Yeah, I've got Android Studio, right? So you go to Android Studio once you get it downloaded and you run the installer. And then you just run, where is it? Is it in bin? Yeah, there it is. So you can just run studio. So /studio. And bada bing. And you just go to whatever. Go to your project. And you can spin up like a Pixel 6 right there. So go to devices. Where is it hiding? Is it hiding over here? I'm looking for, there it is, device manager. Booyah. So I can spin up a Pixel. Bang. Off it goes. Right? So that's fun. That's for me. That's the lab I'm working with right now. That's the lab I'm building, is messing around. Now, I actually used Android Studio in my Pentest Plus course for rooting, showing you how to root a device and actually hook it with Metasploit. So I was able to get shell with Metasploit. I actually did that. Hold on. I've got an actual Android device right here. And I hooked that, but cool stuff there. Hopefully it's not killing my computer or whatever, but yeah, we'll just close that down. Exit. Yes, I wish to exit. But cool stuff there, right? So if you want to get this Android, it is, let me do this. Let me throw that in the chats. Where are we doing? How do we do this? That is Android x86. There it is right there. Android86.org or Android x86.org. Yeah, that's fine. Just give me the copy. I'm really excited about this because it's just great for testing. Paste that in. And now if you want to get some good resources for that mobile testing, Dark Wolf Solutions, Dark Wolf Solutions has an Android testing guide, I think it's called. Booyah, the playbook, external playbooks, public GitHub, isn't that it? Yeah, Android security, that's it right there. I don't care, just give me the thing. Copy. I need people to have this. They want it. The people demand satisfaction. Where's my paste? There it is. Did it give you the whole thing or just go to darkwolf.io? Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's good. All right, cool. So That's how your boy does it. That's what I do. That's how I learn is I build. That building gives me all that hands-on, gets me all like it's so when I was learning Cisco, everybody's like, just rent equipment from online, just rent access to equipment online. I'm like, yeah, but what happens when it comes to a cable or plugging in a wick, right? I don't get to do any of that stuff, right? And they're like, oh, you got packet tracer, and it's like, okay, yeah, packet tracer kind of, but it's an emulation, not a real thing. So I bought equipment when I learned Cisco stuff, and I had to buy wicks and I had to plug them in. I had to buy cables and I had to plug them in. I had to have the right cables to do the right things. I had console cable. They don't have serial anymore on laptops. You're going to get a serial USB device, click all that stuff in, right? But all that hands-on stuff, that's what you do in the real world. So for me, I'm all about like getting as close to reality as possible and utilizing that. So there you go, man. What's up, Jason Haddix? Is Jason Haddix here? I love me some Jason Haddix. That boy, hats off. I'll to Jason Haddix, everyone. All right, let's check in with the chat. Hopefully that helps. I told you, Alicia comes in with these questions, and you better get ready. Ted Grant says Daniel is showing an infographic. Does that count as a saxophone? Yeah, it probably does. It probably absolutely does. I'm going to go with yes. Judges? And judges confirm. Yep, that's good stuff. Let's see here. All right, so I think this is about where I left off on where you guys were talking. We're talking about PNPT is around a realistic test with a realistic report. Yep. OSCP being HR Gold. Let's see here. If 0 Point ever appoints you to give video training for RTO course, try do some giveaways as the exam voucher. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. That'd be great. I like that idea. I need to do that with Pentest Plus. Me and Jerry, he's busy with the con. I'm busy with other stuff as well. So we haven't got together on setting up long-term promotional stuff. But it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. Let's see here. OSCP is just too costly, right? That's what gets most people at this point. And it's more of like a CTF than it really is a realistic. I think that's why Heath created the PNPT back in the day, was he was like, man, OSCP is fine and dandy, but they don't really do a realistic job. And I was of the same mind. Like we just got done talking about how I'm building labs that are as close to reality as possible. He is of the same mind on that, and that's where the PNPT was born out of, hey, we need something that's more like, this is what you do as a pen tester. And so I prefer the PNPT because of that. But hey, what are you going to do? OSCP is OSCP. We have to be the change we want to see in the world by not getting the OSCP and going, well, I've got PNPT, and then that'll get it out there. And I have seen a shift in the recognition of the PNPT as getting to be more parity with OSCP, as it were. All right, ADHD is a dual edge for sure. Yeah, kind of is. GIAC certs, don't even get us started on GIAC, right? Real Bilbo chiming in, Exegol. Yes, thank you guys. I wish I would have seen that. I went down the rabbit hole. We found it. We got it. Thank you, though. Keep me straight. Keep me straight. Yeah, a lot of people don't like, this is coming from Code Brew. John Hammond always talked about doing the same, spinning up a Ubuntu and just putting the tools in you prefer. A lot of us get there, and I have done that. But because of the nature of what I do, I tend to just find the easy button to be a Kali or Parrots, with the teaching side of things. Because that's where, if you're a beginner, that's where you're at. So I want to meet you where you are. And now I just know those two platforms so well. I don't care. It's like, fine. I run Kali, and I'm not ashamed of it. Let's see here. Exegol is pretty cool, but more complicated than Kali for setting yourself. Yeah, right? So that's more of the, I've been around the block a couple of times, and I'm graduating from Kali and Parrot, and now I'm ready to go that next step. That's why Pat prefers Exegol. That's why John Hammond prefers. I've talked with John about that as well. And he's like, I just like to build my own thing. I'm doing my best John impression. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, right? Let's see here. All the saxophone emotes. Love it. Love it. Let's see here. TCM Security. This is from NoahSec. TCM Security has a mobile testing cert for $250. Yeah, that's a great price too, right? I think it covers both Android and iPhone. There are probably more up-to-date courses out there, but I imagine they cost more too. Sure, right? I like trying to find low-cost, no-cost stuff because I know a lot of people that are out there, right? Jobs, it gets rough out there right now, right? Jerry said it this morning. It's a employer's market. It is not an employee's market. So you might not have the wherewithal or the scratch to just spend money on a bunch of stuff. So I try to find the low cost, no cost stuff for everybody out there. That Android testing guide from Dark Wolf Solutions, that don't cost you a dime, right? And then you can get, and there's other stuff out there, and I'll be looking into those things and finding the gold that is available. I think it was it NoahSec? Was it you this morning that said Jessica Hyde? Got to look into that. I'm going to totally run that down and see how that goes. She's got some good mobile hacking course out there that I think is, you were saying, was free. I'm sorry if it was, if I'm attributing it to you and it wasn't you. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Space Techo's taking off. Good to have you though. CEH, Nick the Cyber Junkie says CEH V13 covers mobile as well. Okay, good to know. Good to know. A lot of good mobile stuff out there. So, but CEH V13 is expensive, right? All right, looking in the chat. What else do you guys got for me today? Oh, here we go. Noah's dropping some good knowledge. I'm so glad Noah is in our chat. I'm trying to follow the string here. More DevOps oriented pen testing distro. Oh, okay. You guys are talking about a pen testing distro. Gotcha. All right, we got K Farrat. Hello from Paris. Hey, we've got a Parisian in the house. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us today. All right. Anything else? Oh, there's my name. I didn't have a question. This comes from Carrie. I feel like I shouldn't be here. I'm attempting to listen to what is going on. I didn't have any. Okay, everybody's supposed to be here. Everybody that's here should be here. Everybody that's not here should be here. Go find a friend, and this is an. Let me just see what Victor Rosa has to say, because I love me some Victor Rosa. I wish I had learned that you need to invest in yourself. I bought cheap Cisco router and Cisco switch. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is investing in yourself. That's exactly, Tech Ricky's saying, that's the exact reason I'm diving into Hyper-V more instead of Proxmox. We use Hyper-V on our clients, right? Do it in cloud. Do as much as you can in cloud environments. Unknown 101 says there's a page called Mobile Labs. They cover these. Great stuff. What is reality? Answer, it's the best place to get a sandwich, but that's not important. But let's talk about I have talked with a lot of people that are in the content creation space and people that are making courses. Obviously, that's my stock and trade. We have seen a sharp decline of people that are engaging with us. So they're either just lurking or they become disenfranchised. What is it? What do you guys think? We got a few minutes left. I think this is a great way to end the show. What do you think's going on in cyber right now? You think it's positive? You think it's negative? You think it's just it's neither positive nor negative. It's just a thing and we all need to adjust. What's your take? This is where I'm reaching out to you to tell me what's the kind of stuff that you want to see? What's the content you're looking for and are not seeing? And where is everybody else? Where's all the newbies? It seems like we've reached this equilibrium of the second law of thermodynamics has come in, and we've finally died of a heat loss in cybersecurity, because I don't see a lot of new people. I love that I see people that I recognize, but I want to see more noobs. And what's going on? Where are they? Have we just saturated the market with so much free and low cost stuff that you don't need to come and feel like a part of the community? You're just so busy with your head down. Like, to me, hacking was the community. It was about being a part of something cool and fun And oh, you can get paid for that as well. Awesome. But I see pen testing jobs, and it's like they're not giving callbacks. They're not doing. It's like, what's up with this? What's going on? There's so much cyber work that needs to be done, but there's not enough work out there for everybody to get into it. So are people just going, I throw my hands up. It's impossible, right? And they're walking away, and that's just leaving the people, the diehards that are out there like us. Let me check up with chat. Let's see what you guys are saying about this, because this is an interesting topic to me. I want to see more work, right? This whole garbage, like there's only it feels like there's only a few 100,000 jobs available in cyber right now, and they're all going to people with like mad years of experience and things of that nature. And that doesn't check out to me. That's not how it should be if that is how it is. So Saffron Paprika, gold nuggets on the live stream. Thank you. Furious George, already peeps, he's off. Good to have you, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great day. Let's see here. Tech Grunt, are you saying that should start recruiting more people for the Avengers Initiative? Yeah, I just want to see the people that are interested in this stuff joining us, because the more people we have, the more interesting conversations we can have. And that's what I'm interested in. I want to reach new people. I want to get in front of people that maybe are cyber adjacent, but have never thought, hey, let's get into cyber, because we have a really cool culture, but to me, it just feels, and maybe I'm way off base on this, it just feels like we've reached a even spot, right? So let's see here. Anyone who's learning their hacking is looking for other ways to make money using it. If businesses won't pay, they'll end up paying anyway. Yeah, I don't want to see them go down the wrong road. Ghosting is a real thing, right? Like, what is going on with these, right? Good, like, there's great training out there. Noah Sex says there are hacking YouTubers that end all their videos with join a ransomware gang now. That's interesting. Okay, I can't condone joining ransomware gangs. I hear you, TechRent says, about training the new class of upcoming cyber peeps. That is one of my goals for 2026. Cool. Victor Rosa, like you said, it's an employer's market. There could be a lot of openings, but they are seeking for unicorns with the wages of a rookie. Yeah, I've actually been looking at, because I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll do pen testing on the side. And, that'll be fun. It'll be great. And it's like, whoa, what is going on with the job market with pen testing? I get it. There's a lot of people that want to get into pen testing, but I would think that there would be more work for that, or at least a vulnerability assessment, that kind of stuff, some continuous pen testing kind of thing. And there's so many people out there with the skills to do. I mean, look at Hack the Box and Try Hack Me people, right? That are constantly doing this every day, and no one's giving anybody a shot. What the heck is going on here? See you later, Joe Bruce. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we got 2 minutes left. It will go back and tell you that you need to be building a network of people. And to that point, where are they? Come into things like Simply Cyber and CyberCast and the other communities that are out there, TCM and so on and so forth. Hack the Box, Try Hack Me stuff. Build your community, be a part of those communities. It's just weird that a lot of people I've talked to, I won't name names, I won't talk specifics, but we've just seen either a plateau of new people, right? There are no new people. If we've plateaued, we're either hitting the same amount of people that are coming in, which there used to be a forest fire of people that just love to be a part of this. And now it doesn't seem like that anymore. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a perspective thing. I love good numbers. I'm a data-driven kind of guy. So give me the numbers. I'm just talking about how I feel about it and what my perspective is. Tech Grunt says, imagine if you will, there are so many talented cyber peeps out there in the market. If we formed our own company, you think Mark Cuban would finance us? Right? Maybe that's where it's going to go. And here's the other thing, okay? And we'll end on this. Hold on. Phil Stafford says he was contacted by a recruiter to build fintech AI agents. They wanted an MS and a number of certs, 3 years in LLM, and a huge number of recs. The recruiter said they paid $150K. That's insane. To build that get real. That's insanity. Speaking for me, if I feel both the job market is saturated, I agree with that. For the job market, too many are just thinking on cyber and other IT jobs stay vacant. Think GRC or sysadmin. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that audit, GRC. So if you get like a CSA, CSM, that's where jobs are still really primo, and it doesn't seem to have affected that. So in OSCP says I'm taking a mainframe pen testing course in January. That's awesome. Looks like Tom Iron Zeppelin says, I'm new to the community and working on PNPT cert. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying what's going on. See you at Simply CyberCon. You know you will. That's going to be awesome. Phil Stafford says, when I pressed, they came back saying that they wanted someone with very specific experience. I told the recruiter I needed to research and also advised that the wage was way too low. Yeah, that's insanity, right? What is up? So anyway, let's just end on that. I don't want to end on a low note per se, but I want to end on something that makes us think and makes us go, all right, what's going on? Because every day we read the news, right? If you're watching Daily Cyber Threat Brief and going every day, what is it? So-and-so got breached. So-and-so got ransomware. So-and-so had this horrible network. And it's like, what was it? Well, the VPN and password was crap and they didn't have 2FA. It's like, okay, explain to me how we've got people by the dozens, by the literal thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, that have enough understanding of these technologies to come in and help. But we're not building work for them. And you're getting popped and you're paying ransomwares, or you're hitting your cyber insurance. You're doing all this junk. Like, see, the math isn't mathing here, kids. That's what I don't understand. This is where my internal computer is going, does not compute, and the gears are grinding. Because if all these things are happening on a daily basis, hire people and let them do the job. I don't understand. There's obviously some piece of the puzzle that Danny Boy here is missing. If someone knows what it is, drop it in. We're getting ready to close the show, so join the Discord. I will just about put the link in the description here. So give me a minute. Let me drop it once again. Hello, link. Where's the invite people link? Yes, copy. I don't know if that's a new link, but whatever. I'll use it. Paste. Jump in my Discord and let me know. There it is. All right, everyone. This is an interesting talk. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope everybody does something cool, learn something new, play with something neat, and have a great time doing it, because that's what this is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be fun, dang it. Well, we'll have fun regardless of what's going on. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, everyone, keep hacking.